Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of AC Saturday, my weekly anime/comics show. No comics this week. I didn't get back to Volume 2, Sex Criminals, like I had originally planned. Busy week at work, and Far Cry has been taking up way more time than I anticipated. So I did sit down with a couple more episodes of My Hero Academia, though, so that's what I'm going to talk about. We're talking about today episodes Strategy, and Cavalry Battle Finale. Finale. So basically, these two episodes combined make up kind of stage 2 of the sports tournament. Let's go sports tournament. It was kind of teased in the last week's episodes. And basically here we learn, a cavalry battle is like teams of up to 4 people, 3 or 4 people. I suppose it could have been 2 people. But in this, I think all we see are really teams of 3 or 4. And the teams, basically, there's like one person who's a rider, and then the other 3 kind of serve as a base to kind of carry that person. We see iterations here where there's like one main kind of thrust mover, but then also kind of wings on the sides, and they can be used for like attack and defense and stuff like that. So in strategy, the conceit of the competition is that the teammates are combined. That's what like their team is worth points wise, and because Deku came in first in the last round, he's worth 10 million points in this round. So a lot of people don't really want to team up with him because they are afraid that they'll be a target. But we do see Ochaka come and offer to team up with him. They try to go get Ida, and Ida basically says, no, like, Todoroki and Bakugo are not the only people who challenge you. I can't constantly be living in your shadow. You're a great friend, but I'm challenging you too. And he basically teams up with Todoroki in the competition. But the support girl from the last challenge comes because she recognizes that everybody's going to be looking at the 10 million point team. So she wants to get her gadgets seen by everybody in the hopes that somebody will hire her or something like that. She refers to them as her babies a lot, her tech. And then finally Deku adds the Shadow Bird guy, Dark Shadow. I forget his name, but they put together their team, and basically their strategy is run away, try and like not get captured, because the points are doled out. Everybody's got like headbands with their point totals on it. They're attached by Velcro, and so basically somebody just needs to grab the Velcro or the headband from them and put it on themselves, and that's how they get the points. So they're basically trying to stay away from everybody else is trying to gun for them and get the points. We do see kind of one of the guys from Class B kind of puts out this strategy or he kind of vocalizes and says, because we see him steal Bakugo's headband, and basically he's like, our strategy was basically a long-term strategy. We didn't have to give away our quirks or anything in the first round. We just knew we had to probably be in the top 40-ish to advance, and so we kind of stayed behind you Class A people here. That was the Class B strategy. So it's kind of an interesting little rivalry forming between Class A and Class B, of course. And then we see kind of the end of this episode. This first episode is Todoroki basically like confronting Deku and basically saying like, I'm going to challenge you. They've managed to survive for half the round so far, but that's where we're going to kind of pick up in the second episode, Cavalry Battle Finale. Todoroki uses his team very tactically. He's got Ida. He's got the girl who can kind of pull stuff out of her body, and then we've got Lightning Boy, who, when he overcharges himself, he becomes stupid, and he uses them very aggressively in their kind of their different abilities. Meanwhile, Deku is basically trying to kind of learn on the fly how to best use the Shadow Bird's powers, and we find out in this episode that the power is kind of twofold. In the daytime, it is very somewhat able. He's able to control it, but it's not as strong. And then in the nighttime, it is a stronger ability, but it kind of he loses control of it. It kind of has a mind of its own, kind of thing. And so here we see that it is very frightened by the lightning power, because that Todoroki uses the lightning power to kind of stop everybody in their tracks, and then he freezes everybody kind of where they are, and ends up kind of building a little ice barrier around them and Deku's team, because he basically wants that 10 million points for himself. But Deku kind of smartly keeps them at arm's length for a while, basically playing to the strengths of the teams, until Ida comes and says, here's a secret power that like I haven't told anybody about, and he basically uses like an overcharge kind of rush attack that basically like moves him across the field right away, and Todoroki is able to grab the 10 million points, and then leaving Deku with none. Deku's freaking out. While all this is going on, Bakugo's been attacking like vigorously against the guy from Class B who had stolen their points, and he's able to get them all back. We get a couple of the Class B students' quirks. The main antagonizer, their Naito Monoma, his ability is that he can copy somebody. Like he touches somebody, and then he has their quirk for I think up to 5 minutes. I think is what it was. But he can't use two at once, so he uses like Bakugo's real quick and basically shoots him off, and then he uses the hardened guys as kind of like a defense. But Bakugo basically, Eraser Head has a like nice little thing like, yeah, they have a good strategy, but they're underestimating the tenacity of the A class, because Bakugo goes in and just relentlessly goes and tries and gets all their headbands back. So ultimately the last little moment is Deku's trying to get he's trying to get his 10 million points back. He manages to kind of do one last ditch effort with his power. He sees that his team has put their trust in him, and he like sees, I got to do something. So he uses his All Might power, basically as like not to punch Todoroki, but like to like push him away, and uses as a defense to kind of like I guess throw him for a loop. Meanwhile, Todoroki was like, I'm never going to use the fire side of my body because his Endeavor is his father, and Endeavor apparently is like super flames, and we see a couple images of him in the background here, and he mentioned in the last episode that he's like very against his father. So, but he in this attack when Deku's attacking him, he like swings with his left, and like you see the flames coming out, and like he kind of hangs his head in shame afterwards for like losing control like that. Deku grabs the wrong headband, so he's worried that they're not going to have enough points, but at the last minute, and we don't even see it until like they're counting out the winners, the Shadow Bird guy was able to the Shadow was able to snag one last band from them to get Deku's team into fourth place, following Tetsu, who we don't really see anything from in these two episodes. He's just kind of working behind the scenes, and when they like cut to the scoreboard every now and then, you see that he's up there, just kind of working quietly behind the scenes, I guess. Bakugo, with his kind of assault on the Class B guy, ends up in second place, and Todoroki's team, because they've still got Deku's headband, ends up in first. So those are the four teams. They're the teams that advance into the finals. Lots of fun action in here, lots of good strategy, and seeing how they can kind of work and use their powers together. You have some kind of the more established superheroes, often like a break room somewhere. One of them's like smoking and basically saying like, yeah, these events actually do a pretty good job of like preparing them for the real world. You're not going to be working necessarily with your allies, but you're going to be out there and you're going to have to figure out on the fly, how can we make our abilities work together to save the day. And so interesting kind of little commentary there. overall, I really enjoyed these episodes. Again, I love the kind of competition aspect that they're going with, and I look forward to seeing where we end up with. Kind of teases for next episode that we got here are that All Might's going to sit down with Endeavor, and maybe there's like a tease that maybe there's some tension or history behind them. And meanwhile, their pupils, Todoroki and Deku, kind of like meet in like one of the hallways of the sports arena. Basically, like Deku's like, "What did you want to talk to me about?" So yeah, I look forward to seeing kind of where those things kind of progress moving forward. Yeah, those are my thoughts on these couple episodes. It's probably more recap than thoughts, but I think I kind of sprinkled kind of some of my commentary in there as we went along. Let me know what you thought of these episodes in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.